One of the most common mistakes people make is calling the Bible a holy book. Shocked? Want to know why it's a mistake? Then stick around, because in this episode, we're going to look at the anatomy of the Bible. In our last episode, we found that the purpose of the Bible is to reveal Jesus, which ultimately brings us transformation into His image. And the Bible does this, according to Paul, through four lenses: doctrine, reproof, correction, and instruction. So now that we know what the Bible is for, let's look at what the Bible is and what it's not. The Bible is probably the most famous and influential book in the history of the world. Most people have heard of it, many people own at least one of them, and a lot of people have heard some of the stories. Stories like Adam and Eve, or baby Moses, or Moses and the Ten Commandments, Jesus, or King David. Most people refer to the Bible as a holy book, but the Bible is actually not a book in the truest sense. It's actually just a small library of books, 66 of them to be exact. The English word Bible is from the Latin word biblia, and this word literally means paper or a scroll, but it's now come to mean a book. The writing of the Bible took place over 1600 years and is the work of over 40 human authors. Like any good library, the Bible can be divided into sections and categories. If you open any Bible today, to the front page you'll find a table of contents, which shows us that the Bible is made up of two sections, and these two sections are called testaments, the Old Testament and the New Testament. You can think of these two divisions as two witnesses, the Old Witness and the New Witness, the old one pointing forward to Jesus and the new one looking back at Jesus. But we'll cover that in more detail in a future episode. The Old Testament is divided into a few sections. The first is the 5 books of Moses, called the Pentateuch, which means 5 books. Next are the 12 historical books, followed by 5 books of wisdom, and 17 books known as the prophets. 5 are considered major, and 12 considered minor, giving us a total of 39 books in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, there are 27 books. We have 4 Gospels, and these are the life and teachings of Jesus. We have 1 book of history called the Acts of the Apostles, 13 books or letters of Paul, and 8 general epistles, which means general letters. And the book of Revelation, the last book in the New Testament, is in a category all by itself, which is known as apocalyptic, which is a fancy way of saying the book is about the end of time. If you open a Bible today to any book in the Bible, you'll notice that each book is divided into chapters and verses. It's important to know that when the books of the Bible were first written, there were no chapters and verses. They were written as letters, or as scenes of history or prophecy. The chapters and verses that we have today were added for convenience, for reference and quotation, and they are not considered to be inspired. A man by the name of Stephen Langton, who was a professor at the University of Paris, first divided the Bible into chapters in 1227 AD. And then in 1551 AD, a French printer, Robert Stevinus, divided the chapters into verses. So, in case you missed it, the Bible is a library with 2 sections, called the Old and New Testament. It took about 1600 years to write and was written by more than 40 authors. And the chapters that we have today were created in 1227 AD, while the verses were added in 1551 AD. And that is the anatomy of the Bible. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions on this topic. Leave them in the comment section below. And if you found this episode to be helpful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, have a blessed day.